Welcome back to the Black Barbershop. It's your boy Gotti and this bitch, and I'm in here with my nigga Ace. What's the deal, my nigga Ace?
What's the deal? It's the best barber in all the land. Thank y'all for tuning in to another week of the Black Barbershop.
Man, and we got a great wholesome king up in this thing. This guy don't even know, you feel me, on the side. I'll be looking at his side hustles, what he do. Real creative. First time I ever even seen your page, bro, you was selling a camera. That's crazy. My homeboy K Lynn was showing me that you had a camera for sale, and I was actually getting into photography at the time. So yeah, man, let them know who you is, what you doing, what it be like.
What's going on? It's Zaire Porter here, better known as PorterHouseLA. Appreciate you guys having me. Yeah, let's get to it. I'm with the shits.
I feel like we had you on before.
That's crazy. We didn't.
I met him before.
Nah, he looked like the homie Greg, but they not the same person though. That's what it is. Nah, for real. Cause one time I said that. I said, damn, low key you like the homie G, but nah.
Greg look like me then.
The homie, yeah, y'all be looking like each other and shit. You feel me?
Every time I run into people like that, it be like I'm the big homie.
Nah, for real.
You look like me.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say though was interesting about us having you is I've never met you before. This is my first time meeting you. So this is like a guest that I've never met before, a guest that Ace never met before. So we finna mix and match our thinking, our ideas, and how we feel about today. So those out there that's listening, as you know.
Nah, a lot of people seem like they was excited that we had them on. So.
Nah, for sure. I know everybody was hitting me like, especially homie Bryce. You know Bryce he's jokes, man.
Indeed.
But yeah, I
trash at Call of Duty as well. I hope
he's trash. Hey, he's trash at Call of Duty. I hope you listening. But nah, what's very interesting about tonight is we're going to be talking about alpha males and alpha females. So, welcoming you to the show, we have a section that called Who Needs a Lineup. We finna go through some current events. If the person is pretty much doing not well, fucking up all that, all that bullshit, we finna say we gonna get that person a lineup.
Okay.
If they cool, consider it, meaning that it's something that you can say, give them a pass. They don't need no lineup.
Okay.
So before we go into that, I do have a question for y'all before we move forward. I just want to know, how do y'all feel about people who believe that traditional women are literally the same traditional women that they were back in the days? Do y'all believe that, or y'all don't believe that? I'm gonna start the show off with that.
So you, Ace, or me?
I mean, I'm thinking, who the fuck can believe that? Like,
I'm serious. I really want to know how y'all feel about that.
It's nothing traditional about the times we living in. Like I said, I say this all the time, and it's like,
right.
I think it's real unfair for a motherfucker to expect us to be traditional, or, like, women are not traditional, and they making more than us.
Okay.
So it make it hard for niggas that ain't making 6 figures a year. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What about you, Zaire?
I would have to agree. It's nothing traditional about the times, about the women, the things that they do. The jobs that they have, the jobs that we have, there's nothing traditional about just the platform for couples or relationships. So it's kind of hard to say that they can just be traditional like they used to be. But even if they wanted to, I don't think they would know how, because a lot of the grandmothers are not as old as they used to be. We got 50-year-old grandmothers and 75-year-old great-grandmothers and stuff like that. So it's completely different. Like Big Mama ain't Big Mama no more. She Bernice. That's who grandma is.
I be seeing like people who be old as me, and they mamas be trying to take advantage of just like social media and shit, and like use social media as their platform, and motherfuckers got rap albums and shit coming out. I just like, I'm looking at this, and I'm just it's
different.
I'm shocked.
It's a different time, right?
I'm shocked.
Right.
All right, so just going off and building off that question, this is a yes or no, okay? Because we just went in on the women. I'm going to go in on the men later from y'all response to this answer, but I wanted it to be a yes or no. Do you think that there are more traditional men than there are traditional women?
Facts.
Okay, so that's one yes.
No.
They force us to be traditional.
You said they force us to be traditional.
Yeah, you gotta think we living in a time right now where, like we said on last shows, men don't got a voice. If we speak our mind about anything, we basically we gonna get a hole toward in our ass. You know what I'm saying? And women force the men to be traditional. Like, how is it? Like I said, we're the only counterparts. We the only race in this country where our counterparts make more than us. But yet, when you come into a situation, they still want you to pay bills. They still want you to, you know what I'm saying, pay mortgage, pay rent. You get what I'm saying? They still expecting that shit out of you as if you was in the old days. But in the old days, women didn't work.
I definitely can agree with you on that. But we're going to go back to that. So, moving forward, we do have our current event section, who needs a lineup. So let's go off the first topic of discussion. I do want to talk about people who are not investing into stocks, right? Because I think it's important for our people. So, is it Dogecoin or Dogecoin? I'm not sure which one.
I just call it what I call it.
Yeah,
man.
we all call it what we call it. But my whole thing is people woke up today and they got some real bread today. And I wanted to discuss this because I wanted to talk about how Robinhood again shut the whole app down. So they shut the whole app down again for this. Well, not the app, but you know how they do that bullshit.
They not right.
And not letting you buy.
Yeah, not letting you buy the shit, right?
But
So
you know what? It could be because it might be a whole gang of people getting hip to what's going on, and they trying to flood the app.
That's
Flood the app
You
and buy it at one time.
You gotta make it available.
Yeah,
You can't just turn it off.
You can't
because
just turn
you
it
don't
off.
want
But that was
them
my question to y'all. Now that this is becoming a bigger trend for people in all races to invest into stocks, do you believe that this is going to shut down the free world of the white man making more money than the other counterparts that are other races? Do y'all think that this is the start of that? Because we are going into cryptocurrency, which is most people know the definition of it means that you will have your own significant bank account that a bank does not exist. Literally, you're the only one who has access to your funds. For those who don't know,
It's your personal offshore account.
yeah, so it's your personal offshore account, which means that if you pass away or something, whoever has access to it can get in there, meaning that it's not just going to go away, because some people don't have wills and they pass away, and that's why this is important for our people, because we don't even know what type of money our family have out there, because the banks just take it,
Right.
because nobody has a will, right? Now we're getting into a different format of creating that wealth. So do y'all think that Dogecoin deserve a fucking lineup for the bullshit they kept doing? Because it was this GameStop, and it was another stock.
So
Right?
Robinhood is the nigga who actually, I don't think it's the coin, it's Robinhood.
Yeah, but Robinhood.
Right.
My bad. Robinhood, do you think they deserve a lineup for what they're doing? Because I'm also hearing that if Dogecoin or Dogecoin goes all the way up, they're going to tell you to sell it because they really own it. People don't know that when you go through Robinhood, they really own your stocks.
Mm.
They're not going to buy. They're going to buy it from you, but they're not going to allow you to get the real money that you deserve. Some people don't know that.
like a record label.
Right.
Got it.
So do y'all think they deserve a lineup for that though?
I mean, I'm gonna give Robinhood a lineup just for preventing motherfuckers from going on there and getting that coin.
Right.
And GameStop and whatever else. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna give them a lineup for that.
I'm gonna go opposite and let them live because there's so many other stocks that you can get that's not necessarily those cryptocurrencies. So yeah, there's some bullshit that they stopping at, but
Right.
there's so many other things that you can invest in, and I don't know too many other apps. Of course, there's new apps now, but Robinhood was one of the first like mobile phone apps where you could buy stocks and just trade them like texting somebody. So they get a pass for today, but I might change that next week.
And that's crazy because I'm actually giving them a pass too, because I was going to say the reason why I like Robinhood is because for our people who did not know anything about stocks, this was our first introduction, and Robinhood allowed us to get that opportunity. I just don't think it's fair for them to keep our money though once we start making some real money on there. So for those people out there, I'm giving them a pass. Zaire giving them a pass, and my nigga A said they'll get a double lineup.
I just be thinking like, what if we was just really just listening to Nip?
Right, Nick told
Got
us.
into cryptocurrency when,
Nick told us.
you know what I'm saying? He would have really like
When a real
made a
crip-
lot of millionaires.
Hey, when a real crip talk about crip shit,
When he was talking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin was low, bro.
no, he not lying.
And seeing that Bitcoin is at what 60,000 right now.
Just imagine where his bread
Niggas
is.
would-
Then. No, I'm saying imagine
Exactly.
where his bread is. You don't
Exactly.
even know.
That's
You got NFL
Right.
players, they signing their deals right now,
With crypto.
and they want to be paid in all crypto.
Damn, that's crazy. All right, so we moving forward. Let's go to Tia Cooper, which is a WNBA star for the LA Sparks. She went viral when she was dribbling on camera, slow motion, booty going stupid. I'm just saying that's how she got viral. That's how people started knowing what she was.
Do we have the footage? I didn't see that.
We
And
do
then they
have
said
to
you
pay.
did.
I can pull the footage.
Please, if you don't
So
mind.
it was a young, brown-skinned, beautiful young lady. She is a queen. I'm not trying to put her downplay her, but her booty was jiggling though. But what I'm saying is, this is. Oh, I don't know if you've seen her as well. She was the one who actually went viral.
She's engaged to Dwight Howard,
yeah,
right?
it's her.
I know exactly. who
Okay.
it is.
Yeah, she's engaged to Dwight Howard. So this is interesting though.
I think Dwight Howard still getting them.
You know,
He is. But I was gonna say something interesting that she talked about. She actually said that she went from flying on private planes to flying on commercial planes. So she was actually flying on private planes when she was in college. To now she's in the WNBA and she's on commercial flights. So how do y'all feel about that? Because I know what you said before, but I think that's kind of messed up, bro. She's in the WNBA. She should be taking some private flights, not a commercial flight. Because I know Ace, he gonna say
It's the product, bro.
And I said,
Like,
business
to be honestly 100% truthful, these colleges probably got more money than these WNBA teams.
It's not probable.
I was just about to say that's not even a probable. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
And they put them on private planes in colleges because simply they just got more money. You know what I'm saying? The program got more money, and in the WNBA, they have yet to produce the product, bro. They can't sell. They can't sell jerseys. They can't sell tickets.
They can't
It's
sell.
like
I'm not gonna go that far saying they can't sell it. I don't think the return on the investment is like if they do get the private jet for the women of the WNBA,
right.
your ticket sales is not gonna match the ticket for that plane. So it's kind of like you're trying to make it a woman thing, but it's just a business thing. Like,
Right.
You can't put $10,000.
I like the way you
Something
said
that only
that. It's
makes
the
$1,000.
return.
It's the return.
Nah, cause that's what I'm thinking. Like, what do you think they can do in order? I mean, cause the WNBA been out for probably about 25 years, 20 some years, right?
I don't even think that.
What do you think? Like, the WNBA already reached its peak when it first came out. When you had the Cynthia Coopers, the Strauss Roots, the Lisa Leslie's. Like, we're not living in that same time. Like,
right.
they don't get that same type of, you know what I'm saying?
Recognition.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't know. I think that with her saying that's messed up. I'm only saying that to say that you give these women the opportunity to play in a league that should be as big as the WNBA, right? But I'm only saying it to say that you put the images on these NBA players of being stars. Why can't we treat them, at least treat them like stars? Maybe I'm just thinking differently because I have a daughter too. I wouldn't want her to go to the WNBA, something she worked hard for, and her salary is already trash, and then she got to go to a weak hotel, and she got to get on a weak flight. That's one of those things where it's kind of like it don't match up, if that makes sense. You want national, well, I can't say national TV. You're on local TV, but there's other people that look up to you. So I'm only saying that to say like you do it for the passion, but it would be good to be rewarded. That's all. With the small things, like a private jet shouldn't be that much for an owner of a fucking WNBA team. Well, I can't say that too because I don't know how much a WNBA team.
And it's not that many
private
teams.
jets cost, my nigga.
It's only what, 14 teams, 12 teams in the
Private
WNBA?
jets cost.
And I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I became a fan since 2K21 came out because I've been playing with them on 2K21, and that shit fun.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
That shit
I
fun.
ain't played not one WNBA game on 2K
Hey,
at all.
that shit fun.
I
I'm
can't
saying.
play a game and not
I ain't
dunk.
played
I can't do
2K.
it.
That's crazy, bro. I just
I
got
haven't
me an
played since,
Xbox
like,
Series. That shit
2K19.
go.
I can't do it.
You a PS5 nigga?
Nah, Xbox.
Oh yeah, I'm an Xbox Series nigga, and I played it. I said, yeah, this is tight. But look, moving forward, I'm gonna get a WNBA lineup just because I think they should be treated like stars. What about you? You say no?
I mean, I don't believe that they stars.
Oh man.
I absolutely disagree with that last statement. Just for the
I mean,
record.
what make them a star though?
Candace Parker is a star.
Candace Parker is pretty. And
Lisa
she's-
Leslie was a star.
Candace, I mean,
Lisa
yeah.
Leslie was a star though.
But that's what I'm saying. When they was, but it's like,
She's probably the biggest WNBA player.
and Candace Parker probably made a whole lot more than the regular WNBA players. You get what I'm saying?
That's
Somewhat.
But I just like, as far as on a global scale, like,
Skylar Diggins too.
no, honestly, on some real shit, WNBA players be out and don't nobody even be knowing it who.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, like a part of being a star is recognition.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? People have to recognize you and know who you are and walk up to you and want your autograph and want to wear your jersey. And they don't even, like, little girls, look, this is the coolest thing. Little girls in this country is still wearing NBA jerseys. They don't even identify with the WNBA shit.
You ain't lying, bro.
This
I
is
don't even know.
fire.
I don't even
Because people know
Look,
know
I don't
what's
know
exciting.
Mimi, I don't know Mimi girlfriend's name.
People
Like, I
know
just
what's
it's
exciting
Mimi
and who and what's not.
Look, you don't even know who Mimi is, but guess what? Mimi is Stevie J, his baby mama.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah.
So
That's
look, I'm
she
saying
got
I know.
tats. I just call
Yes,
it tats.
yeah, so I know Mimi girlfriend is Mimi girlfriend. I'm just saying that to say I don't know that girl's name.
Now let me say something about this though. And this not no hater shit like I'm hating on women, because you do have women that are stars. You got the Serena Williams, you got Simone Biles, you got Mia Hamm, you got all these girls who play these different sports, and they are stars, and people know them around the world, and people want to buy these jerseys,
Right.
and people want to get these autographs and take pictures with these people. I don't think WNBA like that. This is not.
I have to disagree because we have a women's basketball team at the Olympics, just like we have a men's team. So these women can be global as well. They're on global stands when we do the Olympics, and they don't lose as much in the Olympics. So I think it's just, I'm giving the WNBA, they need a fade, because there are so many ways that they can make more money to give to the women. Like, there's no women's sponsorships, there's no eyelash whatever collab with the WNBA, there's no sports bra products that can be collab with the WNBA. So they just not thinking hard enough.
They don't even have Oprah.
Because no return.
I'm saying, do you know why?
Why?
Because if I partner with this group in this organization, right? WNBA games come on TV, right? But if your ratings are super low, if I'm partnering with you, what the fuck am I getting out of that if ain't nobody even watching this shit?
Is television as important as it used to be? Because we got Instagram, we got YouTube, we got everything else.
That's what I said. Even if the little girls is not even checking for the WNBA, then who is in this country? If little girls that like to play the game not really watching the WNBA, then who in this country really is?
See, they marketing plan should put the WNBA on when COVID started.
Right, but if we speaking on sports general, it's only a particular amount of people who's actually watching the sport for the sport. Yeah. Other people are just, I like to see LeBron dunk, I like to see Steph shoot, but it's only a certain amount of people who's watching the game for the game. So I can watch absolutely. Like basketball players who love the game of basketball, they'll watch WNBA because there's no extras, there's no flopping, there's no they flop, but there's no dunks, there's no extra shit. Like they running plays, they doing the fundamentals, pump fake, jab step, pull up 15-footer. So it's a lot of people who only watch women's basketball because it's like the purest form of basketball. There's no Nike, there's no Beats by Dre attached to it, there's no commercials. It's real basketball.
Like a nigga like me, I don't even like college basketball until March.
Right.
I don't watch the niggas, that shit be boring to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel about football. I watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm a football nigga. I just
I'm
gonna sit down and watch all the games every Sunday.
But ain't nobody safe on that note, because I know you're going to get off on me. So Tory Lanez, I don't know if y'all seen, he just put out the most toxic YouTube promo concert I've ever seen. Right? He was sitting on a bed and his leg was supposed to be dangling, but he had like some, I guess,
a guitar case.
Yeah, under him, so his legs wouldn't dangle. But in his music, it's like he's a clout king, but it's smart, but it's still thirsty. It's like he was talking to Megan the whole time, and he kept telling her how toxic he was, and he thought he was enough toxic for her. Then he said who she's with, he hoped that it doesn't work out, and it's just a lot he was saying in the music that made me feel.
What is it, like a music video? What the
it was really a concert. Somebody just recorded him singing some songs he had, right? So I'm gonna ask y'all this. Tory Lanez,
if you love her so much, why you shoot her, bro?
Right. Allegedly.
That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly. Gotta say
allegedly. Yeah, that's what I said. But this is my question to y'all. Is this nigga doing too much?
I do because like I said, you know, I was one of the people that when it first came out, because I expect, especially if you're a woman, I expect if somebody shoots you in the goddamn foot or shoot you anywhere, tell on the nigga. I don't think you gonna get no, like, motherfuckers trying to act like Megan just had all this type of street cred out here, like she was hanging with gang members on the daily. Like, nah, you're not losing no street cred by telling them niggas that shot you. Right. So the whole situation is confusing, right? But then I started to think like, fuck, this nigga Tory Lanez came out with a whole album talking about, I think it was supposed to be an album about how he didn't shoot her, but he did.
It was the most confusing shit I ever heard.
It was confusing, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's not really saying what.
Let's listen, because I listened to that shit.
Hey, the shit was
fire.
Yeah, the shit was great. That was like his best body of work. On God. Man, but it's just confusing, like, it's confusing, and then it's like you keep, like, obviously she in a relationship, she look like she happy, and you keep coming out and you doing this shit. It's like, I really hope that you innocent, bro, because if you not, you going down as the most toxic nigga in the history of niggas.
Of nigga them.
Period.
All right, so I'm lining his ass up, but you go ahead.
I'm right there with you.
He already did.
Even well, me being who I am, I have to defend black men just because nobody else will.
Right.
But if he didn't do that, then I have no problem with it.
Right.
Because you're guilty, you're innocent until proven guilty. So
Right.
until they can prove that he shot her, then hey, he's just a free man for now. But that aside, if we put that scenario, that situation with Megan completely aside, he's just emotional. Like he's Canadian. It might be in the water or something because it seems like all the Canadian artists are the same way. Drake, Party Next Door, Weeknd, Tory Lanez.
That's
like,
deep.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber, is he Canadian?
Yes, Justin Bieber
He's
Canadian.
very
So
emotional.
I don't know.
Is it so wrong for us to be emotional?
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that because I got a question based around that. But what I'm doing is I'm taking Tory Lane's hair follicles all the way off. All right. So moving forward, this is what I want to identify before we get into men emotions. What is an alpha female? I want to hear that from y'all. I'm gonna start with you, Zaire. What is an alpha female?
Alpha female, by my definition, is a woman who purposely takes care of herself and purposely lets it be known that she doesn't need help with anything. She's financially stable. She's somewhat mentally stable as far as who she is. She knows who she is as a person. She has her own beliefs and standards and ways that she operates and manages her life, but nobody can alter that. Like, not a parent, not a cousin, not a boyfriend, not a husband. Like, you're not going to come into her life and rearrange anything that she has going on. That would be an alpha female to me.
That's fire. That's fire. Because that's like everything that I can think of, and then I want to be toxic and say she still got to be a sexaholic on top of that. That's just what I want to say. But go ahead.
To me, an alpha female might be, I'm not gonna say the opposite of that, but just basically knowing. I think an alpha female is a female that knows that a woman does wear many hats, and she owns that. You get what I'm saying?
So she
Like I said, I think
she does all the traditional
Yeah,
things
I
and she own
think.
it.
Yeah, I said. I think a lot of times with women, bro, they do a lot, right? But it's like. It's nothing. It's not some shit that could be changed. But I feel like women always want to let men know the shit that they do. It's like it's always want to be spoke about. Like
Right.
it's like even when a woman is independent, they gotta come out with a whole motherfucking songs about the shit. You get what I'm saying? They always just want to let niggas know about the independency when it's when it's really not that. When it's really not that, because how is it? I feel like how is it that women are so independent? Right, you're so independent and you don't need no help, right? And then niggas can't come in and rearrange what you got going on, right? But when a nigga come in the situation, what is they looking upon that nigga to do what?
Provide for them, or give them what they
Or
already
lead,
have.
or whatever, or all the traits that's supposed to be the alpha female.
Okay.
When they meet you, they expecting you to do that.
Okay, so my follow, because I'm going to agree with Zaire as well. I'm not going to say what I think alpha female is. I just think she got her shit together and she is Miss Independent. What is an alpha male? Because this is the question that I get confused on, because what's good enough in my head for women
Right, I think it's different, bro.
is
I
never
can't even
good
speak on
enough
this shit.
for the average woman in Los Angeles. I'm speaking of. I don't know other places, because some people tell me I would never walk into a world of what I walk into in LA going down south. That's what I hear all the time. People say if I go down south, I'm gonna find somebody who knows their plays, does their part, and don't talk back. I'm only saying that from what I heard. LA women are just a little bit more, yeah, they're spicy. That's what I'm gonna say. They're spicy, but. That's to say, the question that I asked y'all, I feel like men are confused because we bring something to the table and we are required to keep that stuff going with extra, and women come to the table with who they were and we have to understand why they're changing. So that's why I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, you get women to get into relationships and tell them motherfucker, this is just how I am, this always how I've been.
Yeah.
Well, how dumb do that sound?
If you're not growing,
That's like the dumbest shit to ever say. You know what I'm saying? You get that type of shit. It's like, I I mean, and I think the reason why we in this position where we don't even know what the fuck to even say about what an alpha male is because I'm telling you, bro, we've been silenced. Niggas ain't looking around and look at what's going on. You can't have a problem with shit, and that's what makes a man a man. What makes a man is a nigga that stand on his word and his beliefs and how he feels about certain shit. You get what I'm saying? But you can't even say that nowadays because it's like you either gonna be doing some type of bashing, like they say we do every fucking episode, and I can't find it. But you're gonna be doing some type of bashing, or it's like, well, you better get with the times. You better look around and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know.
So to answer the question, what is an alpha male? If we're not speaking on just relationship wise, right? The only word I can think of, just listening to what you guys are saying, is just a leader, right. A person who makes a group of people do something without paying them or making them like you feel like you want to follow them. Right. So some examples: Nipsey, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Muhammad Ali. These are all men who just, this is what I believe in. If you're more than welcome to follow me, but if you don't, I'm cool with that as well. So they brought together gang members, pastors and preachers and teachers and everything like that. Right. So that would be an alpha male to me, someone who can create a community of people without dispersing them, like to be enemies with each other. So
I like that you said that. So what have you taken away from them that you engage in and you try to keep for it as a measure of your alphaness as a man?
Listening is key. That's one of the things I've learned from them and just my own experience. A lot of people listen to respond. Right. I'm learned to listen to find a solution. I don't just argue with you to argue with you. If we're arguing, make a point, right, and let's find a solution for it. Otherwise, you're wasting my time and your own. So listening is key. Being a help somebody. Like regardless of, I need to get $1 million. I don't know what to do. Help somebody. Like before you do anything else, help someone else. Be of service. Be about the community.
I love that you said that because we're going into the conversation of relationships, and I'm going to give you a follow-up question.
Please do.
But see, that's what I be thinking too, though, bro. Like, I feel like I do a lot of behind the scenes work. You know what I'm saying? Help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? When I get, I don't know. Let's go into this.
All right, let's get the follow-up question because I think this is a great follow-up question, and then I'm gonna allow Holly, our assistant manager, aka manager of all managers. She just runs all the positions. So if I call her director, producer, she's all that too.
Come on, say that. Hype me.
All of the above. I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna start with this question right here. You just told me about listening, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you do when you're not being heard and you're looking for a solution on the other side? Ooh. Meaning that you're not the resolver because you're giving what's happening and you're trying to find a solution or resolution. But that person isn't giving you the same energy that you usually give them when you solve and resolve shit. How do you feel about that type of energy?
But that's what you get from alphas.
Well, do I want to be heard from this person?
Like, let's say you get into a situation with, just an encountering situation with your spouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're actually the one voicing how you feel, because it's just over the top now. It's at the point where you got to speak on it.
Right.
And that person doesn't give you a resolution, because you don't have to have the resolution. You just told them how you feel.
Right.
So how do you feel about that? What is your outcome on how to resolve a situation like that?
Finding the disconnect. Usually women don't communicate like we do. Exactly. So we have to really adjust who we are as people or as men to speak in their language.
Let them know about that though, because that's where I'm going with this. I'm glad he said it.
We have to figure out the way, like, let's just say Jum is their language and we speak blah blah. Right. So if I'm telling you something in blah blah, but you can only understand in Jum, then right. This conversation is going to be trash the entire time. So we got to figure out as men how to
go to Jum.
Not even go to Jum. We got to get an interpreter or an investigator or a language specialist to figure out how to say Jum and blah blah for them to get to. But me, I just use metaphors. Like right. I have to use metaphors. That's the only way I learned that I can communicate with women because right. They don't they are very feelings. I don't like the way you made me feel. The way you said that felt wrong, and blah blah blah. Don't listen. Don't go off the feelings. Listen to what I said. What I said. If you didn't hear what I said, then that's on your hearing, not me saying it.
Message.
I think, this is the shit that I'll be talking about.
Being silenced.
Yes, it's like you just said it. They don't think like us, they don't communicate like us, right? Which means we don't think like them and we don't communicate like them. Why the fuck are we always constantly trying to invent ourselves to meet them? Like I said, it's only in this country, it's only okay for the woman to be the woman. You get what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, like I said, ain't nobody tripping if a woman is still living at home with her parents in her 30s.
Right.
Ain't nobody tripping if women is in their 30s getting free rides. You get what I'm saying? Nobody trips off of that shit.
Right.
Us, we held to a whole different standard.
Right.
That shit going on with you, you're definitely not an alpha. They already, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like we always, why are we always redirecting ourselves to meet them? And I feel like it'll never be done back. You get what I'm saying?
And I agree with you. That's why I asked before I said that, do I want to be hurt by that person? Because if I don't even care that you don't understand, I'm leaving the situation.
Which is
like,
where we usually go. Because we usually go to something that's not really big. Like a lot of stuff that's big to us is stuff that's actually affecting our physical or mental health. A lot of females, they just get irritated and annoyed, and that affects them through the day.
Right.
We usually really get mad at stuff that's like, I really can't watch this game because you want me to really go wash the dishes because you're mad that I left a few dishes in there. That's stuff that we really would like say, okay, I'm gonna let it go though, right? If that was the return and we're telling them to do something while they're watching a home channel network or
Real Housewives,
yeah, something,
we
they're
really
gonna say, nigga, I always watch the dishes, and it's like they can express that, but we have to say, oh, we gonna do it later and just relax.
We gotta really come to the conclusion that it's just some shit that's not gonna be solved.
We can't have reactions, is what I'm saying. We have to actually think about our reactions, because if we do react the way that we would like to, obviously we wouldn't be in relationships. That's really what the situation is. But let's move forward and let's go to the next question, what they came here for. Can an alpha female and an alpha male have a successful relationship and not conflict on emotions or conflict on just the idea of them having that power engagement? Like they have a power struggle. Do you think that they can succeed?
Somebody gonna have to relinquish power.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to give our definition.
Somebody gonna have to relinquish power, bro. It never works.
That's where I'm going with this, because I really.
But in what way? What form? What would be the scenario for them relinquishing power? In the bedroom?
Well, the idea.
No, hell no.
No, I was gonna say the idea of it is what I think.
In the bedroom might be the only place that it might work.
Right.
No, but hold on. I was gonna say the idea of what I think he's saying too, because that's what I feel when I wrote that. There are men who usually stay in power because that woman kind of idolizes him, and that man sees her as his everything. So it's kind of that struggle of like, the men kind of have the most, I guess you can say, the most respect in that situation, but he respects his woman at the same time. And when you have two alpha people coming into a relationship, you have that person saying, that person like me more because I'm the shit.
Right.
So now we're in a situation where we got two people who think they the shit. So it's like, who emotions comes out more, and basically if they can actually know how to power trip on each other, because if y'all both bringing the same shit to the table, who's going to be the one to take that L? Like we talked about, males have to take the L, but we have some niggas out here who don't want to be in relationships because guess what? I'm bringing more to the table.
Right.
So I'm saying, if you have two people with that mindset, because that's where I'm going with this, how does that relationship even work?
Honestly, if I'm being absolutely truthful, that it wouldn't be a traditional relationship.
Facts.
Like it would be, if they both are in power, alpha male, alpha female, it's not going to look how we think relationships are going to look. Like it's not going to be like, let's go to brunch on Sunday and we hold hands, walk the beach. Like no, it's like I'm in Dubai, I'll fly you here, and then we can spend this 2 days, and then you can go do whatever you want to do. I think it may be nonchalant on both ends, so there's no really telling how you really feel about the other person. But
so in your defense, it won't work.
No, it would work.
But I'm saying,
you have to define what a successful relationship is to say if it's going to be successful or not.
It could work for you, and then bro, we all three different niggas, right?
Right.
We all probably need different shit in a relationship. Like we probably all three require different things. So every nigga is not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll probably like I hate being with somebody I don't know how they feel about me. Like, you doing all that nonchalant shit because you think you got it going on, and it's like really your partner don't like that shit.
So somebody
and
said,
hate that shit.
So somebody said it basically should be guidelines, and y'all should be mature enough of the understanding of your relationship if y'all both alphas.
And that's done with communication. Proper communication just solves all the problems, but we're not taught how to properly communicate.
Because it's so many of us with communication issues, and I say so many of us because I might be one of them people with communication issues. You get what I'm saying? But that's the number one thing is like we do not know how to communicate with each other.
I agree. So what I'm gonna do is give Holly 2 questions because she heard a lot. Give us 2 questions, and I'm gonna direct both of them to Zion.
Of course, I'm ready.
I need you to ask 2 questions because I seen your face came up a lot. What is the first question you have in mind that you want to actually debate? Because I know that's something you do really, very well mentally. What did you not agree on here, or that you would like to ask a question about? And then I'm gonna say it on the mic so they can hear us as well.
Yeah. Well, it's not a debate because it's all love.
Right.
But what I will say, when you was talking about the alpha male and female having a successful relationship,
Yes.
one, regular people don't even have successful relationships.
Yeah.
So why does their status matter?
So
and then
and alpha females, they don't have regular relationships, and then we can't just discount the fact that regular people regular people also don't have successful relationships.
And also, you said someone's gonna take an L at some point down the line. Like, what does that mean? What do you mean an L? Like,
What
does that mean? Yeah.
So she asked the question of, when we talked about an alpha male and an alpha female being in a relationship, that someone has to take an L for that relationship to be successful, and H is finna answer that.
Not because, like I said, in society, a lot caters to the woman.
But not in society, in your relationship.
Nah, just not in my relationship. I'm gonna just give you an example, right? You hear this shit all the time, right? Happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no saying like that about the husband.
Right.
So we already taught. You get what I'm saying? It's already embedded in our heads.
To not be happy?
No, not necessarily to not be happy, but even if you, cause I got clients that's married. You get what I'm saying? And they tell me about when they have disagreements with their wife or their significant other, right? And I know y'all heard that the woman is always right? In their household, the woman is always right. Because a lot of the times, we feel like that's what keeps the peace. You get what I'm saying? We're taught that that's what keeps the peace, if the woman is happy. You get what I'm saying? It's not no saying out here like that for men.
We only got a saying that says, full stomach, empty balls keep them happy. That's what I heard.
See, but that don't even rhyme. That don't even rhyme. So you know that's not a real saying. Like, I get what you're saying.
That's the closest thing.
I get what you're saying, but you know it's not a real saying because it don't even rhyme. Right?
He made that up.
I heard the stomach part, not the balls part.
Full stomach, empty balls. That's how you keep a nigga. That's what I've heard from
That's also not true.
Yeah,
right. Facts, but I'm saying that's the closest we have.
I mean, you got a better chance of it being true than not.
Depends on the person.
Definitely, like.
That's funny.
That is.
That's another show.
That's another show.
All right, so I want you to answer that question.
But an L in a relationship would probably be a waste of time, or something that you guys spent too much time arguing instead of finding solutions for each other. So an L would be you being together for 3 years and then nothing comes of it. No understanding, no growth individually or together, or you just ended and then I hate him, I hate her, she get on my nerves type stuff.
And then there's a flip side to that L too. Some people actually stay in that relationship and downplay what they got going for themselves to keep that person happy. And that's something that also comes off of that weighing of saying 2 alphas in a relationship, one person is going to have to actually bow down and do what they need to do to keep the relationship leveled out. And then they become regular, because now that alpha is one day going to be actually, basically approached by that other alpha and say, you notice I've been doing this and this and this, I think it's time for you to turn your notch down. And that's kind of how alpha relationships end up being regular.
I just feel if you want it to work, it's going to work, regardless.
I think you got to look at the dynamics of every relationship. Like, take Rockefeller Records, for instance, right?
Yeah.
You had Biggs, who was behind the scene, who was quiet. He didn't really, you get what I'm saying? I'm not going to say he's not an alpha male, but in this in this industry, he wasn't the alpha because we never even really seen Diggs. We didn't know what his face looked like or nothing. But then you had Dame Dash, who was the alpha from jump, right?
Yeah.
He was the one who always wanted to make all the business decisions and all of that. But then Jay-Z being who he was and having the mind that he was, I played it low for a while. But now I'm coming into my zone where I'm gonna show my alpha. And then what happened? They clashed. You get what I'm saying? And it ended an empire. Like Rockefeller was at the top of the game when they started having their problems, but it was because it was two alphas at the top. And you get what I'm saying? And they really couldn't coexist because Dame feeling like he an alpha is like, oh, Rockefeller, this my shit. I'm gonna sign whoever I want to be the president of this motherfucker. Jay-Z like, hold on, it's just my shit too. I'm actually doing some things. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like when it's two, and I'm not even gonna say alpha woman, alpha male. I'm talking about two alpha personalities.
Right.
Two alpha personalities. You get what I'm saying? It's like when you come to the table and you're trying to get something resolved, it's like, do it ever get resolved or do people just play the back like, okay, your feelings, or I'm gonna take your feelings into account more than mine.
Right. And
because you get people in relationships
to piggyback off what you're saying,
and not just relationships with male and female. It's relationships with friends. It's relationships with friends. You can have two alphas, and it's like, look, we butt heads a lot, bro, on a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And this might not really work out. Like I'm trying to go here, you trying to go there. We disagree.
That's facts.
right. But to continue the alpha conversation, I think I can ask a question, and you guys can answer it to see if it. Who's the more powerful person? The person who has all the power, or the one who gives the power away?
I think the person that gives the power away.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's me though.
But so two alphas can dwell in the same place because it's honestly quite powerful to be able to give power away.
That's the first rule of 40. That's the first rule of the 48 laws of power.
It's to give the power away.
You gotta make somebody know their place, and you know your place. By giving them the power, you know what position to play, and you know what that type of person does with power. So that means that you know how to control the power.
Right. You don't even know I'm so powerful that I gave you power.
Right.
Kind of thing. Like I have so much power that I'm giving you some, and you think you're powerful, but you don't even know I just gave you that power.
Exactly. I think that's deep because when it comes down
I think
to
48 laws of power, I got to like 17 or some shit.
yeah, you gotta check that out. You gotta check that out.
That information is never going anywhere.
I read
that.
that in high school, and it changed my perspective on how I was dealing with people that I liked as well. You feel me? Because you can't let a woman know you like her. You gotta play it cool, and she.
You better let her know you like her.
I'm saying later
When the
on,
time comes, you don't just let her know.
But that's how I start. Hey, that's how I started feeling myself. I'm like, I learned a little bit from this book, but
that nonchalant shit be getting results like a motherfucker
all the time.
Because women love to be ignored.
Man, people want to know. People want to know who you are. That's what it is. Everybody wants to know who you are, whether you believe it or not.
Right.
Even people that have 100 followers and they follow 3,000, somebody want to know who you are.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But this is a perfect question to follow up from it, because we started with the whole question of traditional women and traditional men. So this is where I'm going with this. When it comes down to us identifying what alphas are now, do you believe that women that are alphas can't be traditional?
A smart person can play dumb. A dumb person can never play smart.
A smart person can play dumb. A dumb person can never play smart.
So if she feel like she want to be submissive that week, that day, that year, she can.
Right.
But she's still an alpha.
Right.
But if she feel like she want to go buy a Rolls Royce tomorrow, then she can do that too.
Right.
If she say she don't need you, she don't need you.
I mean, but what does that got to do with it? I mean, buying a Rolls Royce, purchasing a Rolls Royce, what does that have to do with being non-submissive?
Well, not non-submissive. I'm just saying she has the ability to be both. She can be a chameleon. Not chameleon. I'm sorry. A chameleon. Man, hip hop stuck in my head. But she has the options of being both. So when I say a smart person can't be dumb, dumb person can't be smart,
I feel like he in my head, because that's where I'm going with this right now. Like, that's where I'm going with this right now.
Alpha can be both.
Yeah.
Like a gangster can be a gentleman and a gangster,
Right.
but a gentleman can't be both. Like he can. Right. Yeah, I open the door for you. I'll put my coat down over the puddle, but you're not gonna catch his body as well for her as well.
That's
so
right.
the gangster can do both. So I think that's the difference between alphas and regular normal people is that they have the ability to be both and do both at
Right.
any given time.
What about you guys? What you feel about that question?
What?
I said why? I said we started it off with traditional men, traditional women, right?
Yes, sir.
So my question to you is, do you believe that a traditional woman that's an alpha can do traditional shit?
I mean, yeah, I agree with him. When
You
they
agree
want
with
to, when
that?
they want to.
Okay.
I mean, shit, they
But they never want
motherfuckers
to.
ain't realizing, bro. Yeah, motherfuckers ain't realizing. Like, niggas, they been taught that it's their world, bro.
Expand on that though.
When shit start, it start on their time, and when they want to stop it, it stop. And then we gotta be like I said, like you gotta stand on your word, you gotta stand on your two, and we get put in positions where you have to put some type of foot down and say, look, can't really go for this shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
Because it started, it do. It's starting to stop. I say it all the time. Women set the tone for the relationship. Women set the tone for how they want to be treated. And if they let niggas know from jump that they not going for certain shit, the nigga ain't gonna pull that shit.
So let's
Alright,
go deeper with this question.
And what you were saying, Ollie?
You had a question,
Shouldn't you go into anything with intentions and setting the tone and whatever you do?
So I got your question. So I got your question for that.
No.
So
No,
I was
you
saying- I was
shouldn't.
saying that the other day because
But you
we
said
don't-
no, you
we don't-
shouldn't?
We don't always necessarily like. I think women think that men, as soon as they get with them, that we know that we want to spend the rest of our life with them, and that's not the case. That's far from what the fuck niggas be thinking.
Yeah.
Niggas do not be thinking about spending the rest of their life with this person. And because you still got to get to know people, you know what I'm saying? You got to know if your personality and her personality is really going to mesh and really going to work. But I think women, and that's what we were saying on one of the other shows, I think women, they think a little bit different. Like they sizing you up and they seeing the rest of their life, they picturing parts of the rest of their life on that first date.
What baby's
I
gonna look
guarantee
like, what
Yeah.
the wedding gonna look like.
I'm not going to say they picturing their whole life, but they picturing parts
Instagram when they post that
of the rest of their life.
video, man.
If you a good nigga though, if
Yeah, I was gonna say
if
that.
they feel like the date is going smooth and they like, oh, this type of nigga I can see myself with, they picturing parts of their life on that first date. That's not going through a nigga's head at all.
So
I learned that the
my
hard way.
follow-up question, because y'all both said something interesting. The whole idea of us talking about traditional women is, why do men not have the same real option? Because we talk about alphas being able to do both, right? But when it comes to men, I feel like that's not to say we can or we can't. But why don't you do both? Because I feel like that's what I want to answer. Why don't you do both, bro? When I talk about being an alpha, we talk about full in charge, because that's where I wanted to start with when you said leadership. Why aren't we a full throttle alpha male in 2021?
I told you.
We weren't taught by any alpha males, or many of them if we were.
Right.
So we're all scattered getting information from multiple places.
Right.
So, shit, honestly, by the time we get to a certain age, we are behind anyway, as far as knowledge and information on how to be a man and how to take care of yourself, let alone somebody else. So by the time we get to an age where we're mentally cool, physically cool, financially cool, shit, I done been without one for so long, I don't see the benefit of getting one, of bringing somebody into my life who's just there to reap my benefits of who I am and shit like that.
Message.
And then you got to think about what this man just said. This is how we got to this place in the first place. These women that we talking about, that we getting with, they ain't growing up with their fathers either. So they never seen what it looked like. So most likely they probably looking at, oh, my mom took care of all of this. My mom did this, my mom did that. My mom told me this. My mom told me that. My mom taught me, you get what I'm saying? They not, I think the real role of a man is lost. Because we don't know what the fuck we supposed to be doing, and neither do they.
And that being
You know what I'm
said,
saying?
a lot of these women aren't alpha females. They just think they are because they watched their mother struggle, or they had to do stuff that they think they wasn't supposed to do, but they got it in their head, oh, because I can pay this bill, I should be paying this bill. Or because I can pay this car note, I'm going to pay this car note, so I'm an alpha female. Like, just because you are capable of doing things doesn't mean that's who you are by nature.
Right.
And some stuff you just had to do to maintain a lifestyle that you think you're supposed to have, but just you're not an alpha female just because you pay for shit or because you by yourself.
I'm glad you said that. So that's a real message right there to women out there who do live at home and pay a car note and have a job, don't pay rent, and eat their mama groceries and go to the club and dress really nice and look cute and tell niggas that they broke. I'm just saying that because I think that's interesting that you said that, because we have women out there who really not living the alpha life, but because they paying their car note and they paying their phone bill and everything else is falling in front for them, and a man comes out, they think he's supposed to support them, but you can't even take care of yourself, and you want a nigga to be balling on you, and you telling the nigga he a broke ass nigga at the same time. Because I think that's what's wrong with our generation, and why I asked this question, because I feel like as me growing up, I knew what an alpha male was from my grandfather. I wanted to be an alpha male my whole life from TV, you know, watching D.L. Hughley, Parenthood, all these different shows.
Right.
I wanted to run my household. But the thing that I always question is, do these women deserve me? Do y'all ever think that?
But if you really look at it, them niggas wasn't running their house on TV. Look at all their wives. Their wives used to come through with attitude.
My wife and kids, Martin, all that.
Yeah,
Well, you know what I mean by the idea of being that alpha man in the household, though, because if something happened, those were the people that were talking to their kids. Those were the people who owned. They were paying the bills in the house. That was the reality of the TV show. So, of course, women are gonna have they say so because they have they say so.
Right.
But I'm only saying that to say, do you think that these women nowadays actually deserve alpha? I mean, deserve traditional men? Because fuck alpha. Do you deserve a traditional man? We just talked about a traditional woman. So a traditional man is somebody who pay all the household bills. Make sure you stay at home, take care of everything while you take care of everything at the house. But I'm asking, do you think these women these days deserve that type of man?
Nothing in life is catered to that. So the question is, do they even want that type of man?
Express
And
that.
Explain.
I don't think they want that.
Explain what that means when you say cater to, though.
Like nothing in life is designed at this day and age for the man to be out working and the woman to be at home. Unless, like I said, you making,
especially in LA.
Unless you making millions of dollars and you a ball player, then yeah, you know what I'm saying. But a lot of those women, they don't. I'm not gonna say they don't be doing nothing, but I'm saying a lot of those women, they really don't be having too much shit going on. You get what I'm saying? And that's why you could stop that and you can make a family with somebody who's making millions of dollars. You can stay at home, everything taken care of, and money is not an issue. You get what I'm saying?
Back to tradition, like, are these women, can they sew? Like, can they bake? Like, can you
but then they
grow
get on,
food
but then
without
they get
the
on,
store?
But then they get on us like that too, because I'm going to let you know, I'm really not, I hate putting together shit.
I do too, but I'm good at it because I know that's my job.
You can do it with instruction. But I hate putting together shit.
I'm just not a mechanic.
I'm not the type of nigga that's gonna fix a toilet. Like,
but isn't that tradition, right?
that is tradition, and that's what I said. That's what I said. They can say the same shit about us.
Yeah.
Like, can we survive just me and you? Like, no extras, no nothing. If it's just me and my woman in the middle of nowhere, how are we gonna survive? Like, can you sew? Can you make clothes? Can you grow plants? Obviously, a lot of these women getting plants now and they dying, so you see they can't take care of plants or grow crops or whatever the case may be. You can't sew a button. Like, I'm gonna be naked. Like, is this? If you really want to go back to tradition, like, a lot of these women wouldn't survive when their grandmother was frolicking and doing
but
whatever.
You gotta think, back in the day, all the grandmas, they couldn't do anything but sit home.
Yeah, a lot of women
and figure out how to sew and all of that. We wasn't even, they weren't even able to work.
Yeah, like
so,
like that, women rights.
Yeah.
But I get that, and time has expanded, there's more opportunities. So yeah, I definitely agree with y'all. But I asked that question because I personally feel like this, and I'm only saying this because I personally feel like this is a new generational era to where people need to hear this. Women complain about working the same as men, right? And then they talk about the many hats that they wear outside of work. And they talk about men don't bring anything to the table if they're actually doing all those things, right? So I would like to know, and I'm only saying this, when men are doing those things that you ask of them, what are you thinking about contributing to him as well? Because you never talk to us what you would like us to contribute to the household, because guess what you're doing is actually tradition, and we actually are doing our part. So that's where it's kind of hazy-minded for men to say
that shit, Gotti.
I'm only saying this because it's kind of hazy-minded for men to come to a conclusion that we're supposed to do something. We are doing our part, most of us. Right. So how do you make us understand what we need to do if you're doing something that's also in your natural habitat, you know? Because there's things that we can't do. We can't breastfeed. Right. Kids are going to go to their moms. when it come down to sex, we can't have it ourselves. And then it's just the idea of when we're doing stuff for you, when you ask us to, we are moving. We're going to the store. We're getting that food. We're grocery shopping. We're bringing the water up. We're doing things, but we're always told
their moms.
Yeah, but we're always the bad guy when it come down to we're not
going
bringing the same
for that shit. we gonna be realistic. We not going for that shit. That's why kids go to their mom because women are the nurturers, bro. Yeah. That's where the fuck they gonna go and get babied. You get what I'm saying? They not gonna come to their dad and get baby. Cause we gonna tell them on some shit. It's like I can love you and give you this love as a father, but I'm gonna tell you on some real shit. I'm not gonna let you do what you wanna do. I'm gonna speak on some shit when I feel like the shit is wrong.
But isn't that the piece y'all love about women? Us being nurtured?
No, we love that, but I'm only saying that to say when women are doing their natural part, they still tell us that we're not.
But then women don't be wanting to hear that they nurturers, like as if they not nurturers.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of one of those things where it's, y'all know what I'm saying, bro.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, because I'm only trying to say.
I mean, I didn't have my father, bro. Yeah. But it's like when I'm sick, I don't want my motherfucking father kissing me on the forehead and shit. Like, go get my moms. Moms is the ones that got the touch. You get what I'm saying? When you're not feeling good, right. They can come just put their hand on you and shit is better. Right. Motherfuckers don't be like that's a real power that a mother have. That's a real power. Right. And people act like they don't understand that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alright, so I got a few more questions, then we're gonna go to takeaways, okay? So I think this is a good question. Why are males that are out there, especially black males, they're just intimidated by alpha women? I feel like a lot of black men out there are intimidated by alpha women.
Can I tell you why?
Tell me, man.
I want everybody to hear this shit. You know what I'm saying?
My ears is open.
All ears.
Nigga, they intimidate us. They purposely fucking intimidate us, bro. Think about this for a second. You meet a woman, right?
Yes, sir.
And she's independent.
Right.
Like I said,
air quote.
She gonna let you know how independent she fully is, and then gonna follow it up with what I need from you or what can you bring to the table, right?
Right.
But you missing the whole point. You missing the whole point about all of this shit. It's not necessarily about you needing me for something financial. I'm a man. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, they don't know, we don't know what our role is, and they don't know either because they overlooking the whole relationship aspect. You making this shit about money and what a motherfucker can do for you from jump. We don't do that with women, bro. We come into the situation and we looking for real relationships and we looking for fucking companionships. And when they meet a nigga, they want to know what the fuck you can do for them. Why?
He saying some shit that I've been thinking on the inside, but I just ain't.
So tell me how is that
out there loud and clear?
Tell me how is that not intimidating for a nigga that meet a woman like that, bro? How is that not intimidating? It's like, look, I don't even know, like, and then if you say that I don't even know if I don't even want to fuck with somebody like you, then you less of a man because it's like then you get all this shit. Cause I see it all the time on Instagram. The men can't even handle a woman like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm too much, and I got too much going on, and niggas don't like when women have to tell them about themselves. We get this all the time. We get this all the fucking time. I'm telling you, bro, that shit will intimidate anybody, my nigga. And instead of when a man meets you, instead of you talking about and you sizing the nigga up and what he can do for you, cause trust me, it's not too many niggas that's looking at women like that. We not looking at what we can do for y'all. I mean, what y'all can do for us. We're not looking at that.
Right.
We're not looking at that. We looking for companionship. We looking for somebody that I mesh with, somebody that I can have fun with, somebody that I can do shit with. That's what we looking for. Right. We're not looking for what y'all can do for me. You get what I'm saying? That's a selfish act, bro. Right. From jump. And you're not gonna never build no real relationships like that. I just want women to know that. You're not gonna never build no real relationship like that. If you looking for a nigga if you meeting a nigga and you telling them
I'll even agree low key.
This the coldest thing about it. Don't no nigga give a fuck about what you got going on.
But y'all do though.
Holly, don't
give a fuck about that. Like you telling nigga,
women got
oh, I got this and I got that. Like nah, that's not why I approach you. That's not why I approach you. That's not why I approach you. I'm trying to see your soul.
But y'all do care what they got going on because they gotta have bread. Their hair gotta be done. Their nails gotta be done. Pussy gotta be bomb and smelling good. You feel me? Waxed. So y'all got
Single nigga.
expectations. Yeah, so y'all was doing that for yourself, huh? You was doing that for yourself, but we gotta do extra shit for ourselves and you. Then we got kids too. But I ain't even finna go there.
We're not going there. Just to be opposite.
I think you gotta pay for hair, nails. How many times you got your haircut paid for, Gotti?
Hey, none.
No, I'm just saying though, just any, cause we looking to provide financial relief. We looking to provide financial relief. How many times you got your haircut paid for?
Hey, he said none.
I have 0 time.
How you feel about this, Zaire?
I'm cool with it now. I've been taking care of myself for a while.
Because I'm saying that because that's not what the fuck we look. We don't give a fuck if y'all pay for our haircut or not.
Right.
We don't give a fuck. But it's niggas out here that's judged on whether they pay for their girl's hair or not, whether they pay for their girl nails or not. It's niggas out here that's judged off of that type of shit. And why?
Just to go back to the question.
Ain't it supposed to be like a us thing? Both?
Why are men intimidated by them? I'm going to say, just to be contradictory. Not contradictory, just opposite of what Ace is saying.
Right.
It's a lot of self-confidence and self-doubt. Like, a lot of men don't have confidence in themselves. For whatever reason, like...
That was my answer, too.
You see other dudes with money, and you be like, oh, I can't live like that, or whatever they do to get their money, like, I'm not going to do that.
And that's really a good nigga that's going to actually succeed later. He's trying to get his shit together so he can meet that.
Yeah,
Don't tell them that. Let them find out when it's too late.
But I hear you on that. That's
Like,
like,
trying to stay away from the streets, but they calling me.
Right. But self-confidence, like, if a woman's with her homegirls at like Maestro's and you see the bill, whatever, and you're like, I'm not paying for that like that. Even if I had it, I wouldn't do it. Right. So you like automatically turned off by her lifestyle. So that's intimidating to you. Like, I've been attracted to a lot of women who are out of my reach, so to say. Right. So like, I wouldn't even entertain her.
Touche.
So it's like you be around too many of them, like millionaires. Like, I'm not even going to try to attempt to come where you at because that's not me right now.
Right.
And even if I did have that financially, I probably still wouldn't be over there with that. Yeah. So it's a self-doubt thing, it's a self-confidence thing. But once you know who you are, you already know anything.
I like the way you put that, because where Ace went with that, I like where he went with that.
I'm not disagreeing with it. That's why I said
with everything he said.
Come on now.
I just didn't know that was going to be said so politely. I don't know if that was nice, but it was regular. Like, it was on a regular basis to like, females really don't understand that they want something and we come in trying to just have companionship. Like, that was the literal conversation I liked about.
You can't say that. Sometimes you just want to fuck as well. Yeah. You can't just say we want companionship.
No, that's true.
No, but I'm speaking of a relationship. But that's why I think they get twisted. There's somewhere along the line, I know it's these rich niggas that be out here doing frivolous shit with their money that got these women thinking like that. But when the fuck did pussy come with a price tag on it, bro? Especially if you in a relationship with somebody or you really fucking with somebody. Y'all, as two individuals, y'all supposed to be fucking because y'all find each other attractive.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's how sex happened. I didn't know it happened like, if that's the case, if money is tied to it, then that's how you get these old ass niggas out here that be, you know what I'm saying, throw a couple dollars and they get what they want. Right. But I feel like if you fucking with a girl, I feel like sex ain't supposed to come with no price tag on it. Like, that's stupid.
Well, prostitution probably.
That's what I said. It's prostitution, bro. And that's what they don't realize. If you expecting niggas to do shit and you putting a price tag on your pussy, that's prostitution.
Right.
And a nigga will have a less headache with a prostitute.
I gotta close out.
But then again, if he knows himself, then he wouldn't even put himself in a situation to be in a prostitute transaction. Like, a lot of women are prostitutes, whether they know it or not. But they're only a prostitute when they receive the money. Yeah, like, you can get whatever you want for free. You just got to know where to get it from.
In some form, in some fashion, I feel you on that, because you got to really look at the situation. If you're putting yourself out there in a scenario to receive, then that's kind of the mentality going towards prostitution.
But I think this, and I just want to say this real quick. When you're in a relationship or you fucking with a girl, if I spend my money on you, I'm spending my money on you because I fuck with you. And if I fuck with you, it's not nothing that's mine, that's not yours. You get what I'm saying? But I think we get the misconception that, because they say that if we doing all of this shit in the beginning, we supposed to be able to keep that shit up. And it's like, no, I'm doing this and I'm showing you this in hopes that you would see me doing this and that you would reciprocate that same energy, so don't never have to feel like, oh, I'm doing this. or I'm the only one that does this. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like you bringing it back and we making it work. But it's like I think for men, it's just looked at different. Like we just looked at like we always supposed to keep that type of shit up, and it's really impossible if you not swimming in a lot of money.
No, I feel that. I was gonna say my closeout question to this conversation. I'm having another one that a fan asked me, but my closeout question to this conversation is: do you believe that most men out here are actually doing their part, and women are the ones just complaining about being traditional and doing their part?
No, because there's a lot of married couples out here, engaged couples, married couples. Right. So I think people are either figuring it out or finding ways to figure it out rather than just giving up. And like, if a woman has any sense, she's aware of what's happening to black men currently and throughout history. Right. So if she has any kind of common sense, she understands that he's not mentally all right, no matter what he says, no matter what he does. So if she has any type of sense, she understands that, and she tries to understand him. Like, how often does a man get asked, what makes you happy? What do you want to do that makes you happy today, this week, whatever? Like, he's such a provider that he's used to not being asked something like that. So it's, a woman has to understand that about her man before she could even make him happy.
Message! What you about to say, Holly?
I just think it's interesting. I agree with what he said 100%. But I'm just saying, I just think it's interesting how the two people in a relationship is rolling their eyes and got something to say. Like,
it's not the idea that we're rolling our eyes in our relationship. It's just the whole idea of being asked what you want to be happy, right? Sometimes it's just the idea that when you're being asked that too and you're in a relationship, we talk about energy, that's all. Sometimes it feels like you're putting more. Sometimes that person could be putting more. But I'm only putting it on the table to say I've dealt with situations. I don't deal with it every day. So when he spoke about just the idea of a man being in a relationship and being asked if what's making him happy, that's not usually a question that we're asked, because we're actually doing everything we can do because we're the solution. You know, you said it. We're the people resolving the solution in the most part. And I know that you're in a different predicament, but when you fall into engagement or marriage, you'll start to see those things that we speak about where the man is usually the person resolving the situation, because women somehow find their way out of the loopholes of not resolving the situations that they actually cause. That's just me being real on that.
They're going to find a way.
They're going to find a way.
Every time.
And we're going to have to swallow the pill.
And that's why I said, somebody go take the L.
Right. But what would you feel about that, Ace? Because my question basically was, do you think that there are traditional men out here doing their part and a lot of women are just not doing their part because they're basically complaining?
I would have to say, I mean, like I said, I would have to say, yeah. I don't think, like I said, man, whatever hat you wear or whatever the fuck you gotta do in your life, I feel it's not nothing that need to be complained about. I just feel like it's something that gotta be done. So whether you a wife, you a mother, you gotta go to work, you gotta cook, you gotta do all of that shit, but this is all the shit that you was destined to do from the time you came out your mom's womb as a woman.
That's deep.
You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like I don't complain. I mean, it's just what I have to do. I don't complain about walking into a motherfucking war zone every day and having to look over my shoulder and it made me fear for my life. I don't complain about it, I do it. Or whatever the fuck it is I gotta do, or whatever it is that she complaining about.
Okay, and then I got my last question. We going out to close out. A woman asked this, and she wants to know, because we are men in the barbershop, what are the top 3 things? Top 3! Women, are you listening? Because I want you to listen and take notes. What are the top 3 things, and I consider all of us alphas, what are the top 3 things that keeps you happy in your relationship right now?
I'm single, by the way. I'm not in a relationship right now. Top 3 things that keep me happy. Attentiveness, paying attention to what's going on. Like, if I got a podcast interview on Tuesday, I shouldn't have to tell you where it's at, where to listen to it, and stuff like that. So just being supportive and attentive. Funny. You have to keep it fun or funny, whatever the case may be. You don't have to actually, I don't know, create an itinerary to go somewhere, but Like, I like memes and gifs like everybody else. Like, I want to laugh with you like I laugh with my homies. So, keep it fun and funny. And the third one would have to be...
Gotta say it. Gotta say it.
I'm not.
You gotta say it.
I'm not. I'll leave it for you. The third one, you have to be creative.
I like that.
You have to be creative.
Like that.
Like that.
I like that. Hey, it's top 3 things that keep you happy in a relationship.
Me, I think this is one thing that men don't necessarily stress all the time, but feeling wanted. You get what I'm saying? Feeling wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, sex is a part of feeling wanted. You get what I'm saying? That goes in that. Like he said, keeping it fun. You gotta be able to have fun, and like I'm a philosophical person. Like I'm deep. I'm a deep thinker, and I like to talk about shit, but I like to talk about deep shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Message. So we gonna go with those.
Yeah.
All right.
I told you we was leaving it for you.
I like that. Well, my first thing is classy ghetto. I love women that are classy ghetto. I'm sorry. You have to know how to be able to carry yourself in a classy way. But then when we're around certain shit, just be aware. I just like women who can actually flip that. Because that's what women want from us. I'm just, I like that. Secondly, I really like women who can just be themselves. And I know he said fun, but I just want you to be yourself and try to improve on that to be more fun. You get me? Like, in a way for it's not out of your character. You're not doing nothing and forcing it. You're really being yourself, but you just have that. And sex. He said creative, but I'm going to say sex. Feeling wanted. I like the way Ace put that because y'all both said it. It don't have to be sex. It's creativeness. Like make me want you and you want me, so we have that fulfillment of joy.
It's like if you know your nigga like certain things, it's like why not do those certain things?
Yeah, like I just
without being told to do.
Yeah, like I just think it's super.
We
dope.
hate having to tell. I mean, they probably hate it too, but it's like shit. They probably hate it too, but it's like I mean, dude, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, do you know what your girl really like? Do they voice themselves on that shit?
Have you asked your man what does he like? How does he like it? And how often does he like it? Like, have y'all ever had that conversation? Like,
and can you do it? Because that's really what it comes down to. Because you can ask, but
are you comfortable with doing that? Or are you communication, man? That's the key to everything.
And then we closing out. So if you can have anybody take away something from this conversation, what would you have them take away?
I would have them take away that communication is key, and you have to teach someone how to love you how you want to be loved.
Message. That's boogie.
Shit, my takeaway is just learn how to build real relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? And don't base it off what a motherfucker can do for you.
I like that.
Fuck with people because of the way they fuck with you. Treat them the way they treating you, and just reciprocate the energy.
I like that. And I think my takeaway from this conversation, because this nigga's out here dropped some bombs and some gems in here, is that communication should actually lead to both of y'all understanding each other. If y'all alphas, listen to me now, because this is what our show is about. If y'all alphas, to turn that notch down and become a little bit more coherent to what you're talking about with each other, to make that a moment for you both to have a learning opportunity to build that chemistry for a traditional relationship. Now, when I go to traditional relationship, this is my last bond. Y'all need to learn how to actually communicate to where y'all not taking L's. Be able to be resolution solvers on both ends. Don't just see shit your way. Because that's not going to make your relationship boom at the end of the day when you actually telling somebody what you want, but you are never doing the same thing that they're doing for you. Because when you're telling somebody what you want, and they can fix that, then when they doing that shit to you and you just acting like you Stevie Wonder, I don't think that shit is cool. That's just me though.
Can I add a takeaway?
Yeah, but that's my takeaway. I was gonna say thank y'all for tuning into the Black Barbershop, and y'all have a great Taco Tuesday.
That's my takeaway.
Appreciate you for coming, man. That shit was
problem,
a
man.
dope ass show.